Yeah, so we're just writing up a paper for our school, so that George Mason has sort of like a database of volunteer opportunities in the area. But it's for our class.
Oh, I
in
see.
women's studies.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, so yeah, first off, like, what have been some of your most memorable experiences at this organization?
At the organization?
Yeah.
Well, I'd say, I mean, I guess you do have a background of what we do.
Yeah,
right, as
yeah,
women.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we work with women survivors of war. So I guess just being able to, to read letters, because what the program is that it's an exchange. Like you pair up a woman with the one who's going to sponsor her. There's letter component in that, and so the letters come through us headquarters. So the women will write a letter to the sponsor, and then the sponsor will do the same, vice versa, and that goes through us. So I mean, I always have the opportunity to sit down and and read the letters, like from from both ends, and just see
the actual difference.
Yeah, yeah, and even with the even with the women themselves, we've had women who will write at the beginning of the program, because it was a 12-month program. So at the beginning they'll just say, I don't have anything, I have no self-esteem and everything, and then if you fast forward to 12 months later, they actually say, I'm a changed person now. I know that I can actually vote. I can speak up. My my children respect me more because they can see that I'm actually doing something. I'm bringing in money, into the family. So I mean, reading that kind of stuff, really, makes it worthwhile to be, to be doing something like this. But also then just, it stays, in your head, just to see that this is, this is something that we're doing.
Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
Zambia.
Zambia. Is that one of the countries you guys work with?
No.
Okay.
We're in the African countries. We're in Rwanda, Nigeria, DRC, and Sudan.
Okay.
South Sudan, yeah.
Okay.
You're in Kigali, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
there.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I'm actually interested in
International.
interning with you guys at some point.
Oh, okay, yeah. We have intern opportunities here.
I guess this one doesn't really apply.
Actually, no, this one would be good. Have there been any career opportunities that have opened up because, that leads from like interning or volunteering, I guess?
A few, yeah. I mean, we've had they can actually say, I think we've, let me see, when did Sarah start? I'm trying to think, like in the last maybe 3-4 years, we've had interns. Like we have one who's in sponsorship now, and she used to be an intern, and a couple of people from the programs department. I mean, right now we were growing, and you become stagnant for a bit, but we do. I mean, there are some times when we have opportunities that when you intern here, and of course if you have a good history, then something opens up and you can certainly get a position.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh, these are supposed to be your questions. I was just reading them
Oh.
off. You can ask her.
Doesn't matter.
There's a lot.
What does it take to become a volunteer, and is there any training required for volunteers?
Well, I mean, all we ask, of course, is that somebody is interested in, women's issues or international relations, just, right off the bat. And what you do is to, you can go online and, register to say you'd like to become a volunteer. We do send an email to say we have orientation. So that's pretty much, so if you're talking about training, yeah, we have an orientation. So we have orientation the first Tuesday of the month. So you'd come in, we show a short video about the organization and tell a little bit about the organization and just tell what it entails to be, a volunteer. So volunteers help us with, like stuffing envelopes, putting letters into the envelopes that are coming, especially from the women to their sponsors. Mm-hmm. So those kinds of things. And then, and then for everything else, and we have letter logging, so stuff with the database. And so, we do, I mean, for whatever help we need volunteers to do, we do train. Mm-hmm. We do train, but we always welcome the volunteer help, because that's what we rely on, because we can't afford to pay people to do certain things or to do everything. Yeah.
And is there a certain age group you're looking for volunteers?
No, we have. We have a few, like high school, high school kids that come in. So we don't, we don't have an age group. And I mean, for somebody who's like really young, they'll have at least be accompanied by somebody, because they do have to, have to sign a confidentiality, like just in case of anything. But really, no. I mean, we get also, we get people who are in between jobs. they want something to do, they come here. We get people who are retired and just want something to do, so they can come in, and they can come in anywhere from once a week to twice a week to, to every day if you want, or if, like a few hours. So it just, that varies.
And is there any like education background that you prefer for volunteers to have?
Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the thing is that only, I guess if we had, we've only, and this is only, like a few that will help us with maybe editing the newsletter or something, but that's if you're in that specific field, and then they'll say, oh, I this is my background if you need help. But other than that, the way it works is that, like I said, it's like, we need somebody to help with stuffing the letters. It doesn't need that. It's only, it just needs you to sort of like pay attention to what you're, what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
So so no, we don't even ask for that.
And do you have any other programs other than the 12-month process that you have for the women?
For the women,
Yeah.
no. In that 12 months is where the women will learn, like skills training. They do a little bit of literacy training, so all of that, like they learn different courses, like, talking about how, health and, and all of that. So all of that is incorporated into the 12 months.
And you said each woman is paired up with a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Is there such thing as like a one-time donation? Yes.
We do take, we take donations because, the sponsorship is not enough to cover, like overhead.
Okay.
So, we take donations. So, it's not just limited to sponsorships, because some people would rather donate maybe, once in a while, than to feel that they have this commitment to this woman for 12 months and knowing that you have to pay for her for every month.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but even with donations, we do appeal for, donations, because we need that to pay, to help to pay for staff, to help to pay for all the other resources, like, like DRC Rwanda, they, they learn how to make tiles.
Mhm.
And so it's like all of those things are materials that we need,
Right.
for that. So
To
that
train
we,
them.
to train them, and also, so we do rely on, like unrestricted donations.
And
for
of course,
that.
you probably receive more like single amount donations than like committed sponsors, right? Or
No, we do have. Right now we're about 37,000 sponsors that we have
wow.
right now. Yeah, for people, I think having that one-on-one connection
right,
makes the
that's true.
difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you actually get the name of the woman, you get a
Mhm.
picture.
Right. You can track
Of
their
the woman.
progress and
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah,
where
you
your
track their
money's
progress.
going.
You know where your money is going, and so
Right.
here she is. Like this is who she is. This is how old she is. This is how many kids she has, and all of that. So that makes it. And then
Right.
there's the letter writing, and so that makes it more like of a connection. So
Right.
most people actually, like do want that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then once in a while, especially the ones who feel, oh, I can't keep writing all the time, then we'll do, but some of them will sponsor and donate,
Mhm.
at the same time. And then of course, then we have sort of like maybe the big, like the big funders who will do, well, they'll donate, like maybe $10,000 like
Mhm.
every 3 months or something like
Right.
that, because they just want to say, okay, here I've done something, and do what you want with the money. Yeah.
And go ahead.
What's your success rate with your program, the 12-month program?
It's been pretty successful. We're trying to track. And that's also. I can't answer. Like to say maybe like a percentage or something like that. If you wanted me to find out, I could, and I could actually email you that, because that's from the programs department. But for the most part, the women are able to start up a little business, of their own after being.
So is
through
that
the
what they
12
usually
months.
do? They'll like start up their own
Yeah,
business?
yeah,
or-
they'll set up their own business, or they'll, like Rwanda, there's plenty of land, they'll buy land
Mhm.
and start tilling on the land, and then they can actually even employ other people to be on. That's our goal, is that you're not just getting that money and you're using it as you go month by month.
Mhm.
It's also learning how to save and learning, well, what can I do? It's $30 a month, but
Mhm.
to somebody else maybe here, that's not a lot. But if you don't have anything,
Right.
you learn how to actually say, okay, I'm going to use some of this money for my kids, school fees, but some of this I'm going to learn how to, utilize it, and maybe even bank some of this money, and, and do something. So they use like, and that's the thing, is our hope is that once they get those skills training, if she learned how to make tiles, she can go and, maybe go get a job even at a factory where she can, she can be doing that.
Yeah.
Even, Bosnia and Kosovo, most of the women actually, even after they've done everything, they, they'll go even work in offices. Like some of them become secretaries because it's, for most of them, it's like even just a confidence issue. So, like you get counselors to work with you, on things like that. Or if they make bags, we actually get, Kosovo making a lot of, like bags and stuff. And even in Bosnia that we've actually now, we're actually in partnership like with Kate Spade and all. So they order the bags that comes here. So that also keeps the women now more, like with a job.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have somebody like Kate Spade who which is ongoing, it's not just one time thing.
Right.
So that also helps, and that keeps the women, with having a job.
Right, I guess
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other organizations that you work with other than Kate Spade?
Or that we like that we
Yeah.
partner with, because we're not doing microfinance anymore. We used to do the microfinance, but we're not doing that anymore. I mean, some of the other ones I think we're trying to do is like like with J. Crew and with Hyatt hotels. The women in Kosovo are actually making laundry bags. So they put them now. We're putting them in some of the Hyatt hotels so that you put your laundry in there, and it's got the Women for Women logo. But again, this is helping to keep the women now in a job, because they like they have a big order to say, can you make this, and then maybe somebody comes across it, sees Women for Women. Hopefully, then that also for us that will bring us sponsorships or donations, and at the same time helping to keep the women.
Do you guys work with other like nonprofits or no?
No,
No?
I mean it's I would say sort of like occasionally if you're trying, if we're getting together, so maybe like International Women's Day, we sort of like we collaborate together. But for the most part now, yeah.
I know with the microcredit, the idea is for the women to put it back into the community. That's why women are given the microcredit rather than men.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find the same thing with them learning skills? Will they then put it back into the community?
Yeah, and I mean this is the thing. Like for the woman, you give the woman money, she actually will make. Like you find that they will make something and make make use of it. One of the things that we always find that the women complain about is sort of like, okay, my husband's always out. You give him money, he goes out drinking and all of that. But the woman will first think about her kids. If she's got if she's got children or dependents, she'll think about that and think about, no, we need to put food on the table, and what are we going to do about tomorrow. So that's also something that we we track and have found that for sure the women are bringing the money back. And in some of them, like Rwanda, they actually form cooperatives. So what they do is that they'll lend in like monthly, like maybe they say 7 women, you get the funds and you give like $10 each to one person. So she has more, uses it for something, and then then they rotate to be given, like maybe if you want to start, maybe if you want to do a down payment for land or something like that. So everybody, sort of like, someone lends you the money, you go and use that, and then the next month it'll be, like it'll rotate like that. It'll be somebody, so at least for every month, someone has money, like to use it for something that's going to actually yield something else, and like in the long run.
Okay.
So yeah.
Out of your contributors, I know you guys have a office in the UK also, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So do you, where do the contributors come from? Mainly the US or UK or worldwide, or
Well, yeah.
how far is your guys' reach?
Worldwide, we have. I mean, the UK office has been. When have we had that? Well, we actually started sponsorship in the UK office just in the last, within the last, I want to say 3 or 4 months.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah. So before that, I mean, people who were in the UK would, like sponsor or donate here in headquarters. But now that we've actually started sponsorship, we're actually giving them the option to shift and give the money there, because then they don't have to do the, they don't have to do the conversion. But yeah, I mean, we have, we have sponsors, or even, people donating from anywhere from Australia to Norway. We tried, I mean, we try to appeal everywhere worldwide.
Do you have sponsors, in the country that they're helping
That
the
they're
women,
helping?
No?
No. I'm trying to think. No, we don't have.
That doesn't happen often.
No, I know. We don't get anyone from Rwanda sponsoring somebody from Rwanda. I have to think, but no. No, we don't have any. But it's just that, I mean, usually it's the connection is that, somebody, like maybe someone who sponsors somebody who's in Rwanda because they live there.
Yeah.
And they, they have that.
Bullying.
Huh?
they have a link or?
Yeah, that they have a
Yeah.
link, yeah, so, it's like all the memories, I lived in here, or I lived in DRC, and, one of our sponsors, one I spoke to, I remember, she's from Kosovo, but she lives here, and so that's why, she said, that's where I'm from, and I've been there, so, for her, it's something that's much more close to home for her to sponsor somebody, so she sponsors somebody who's in Kosovo.
And are there any programs or fundraisers that you are currently working on that you need extra help?
Yeah, we have what we call the Run for Congo Women. This started, how long ago? I think it is over 7 years ago by somebody named Lisa Shannon. But so now what we do is that we do, people organize runs like in different cities. And you just, collaborate with people to say we're gonna, have this event, we Run for Congo Women, and maybe do a 5K. And then sometimes we'll appeal to people to say, this is for Women for Women. We have a sponsorship program, or if you want to donate, and that way, that helps bring in donations and and sponsorships. And then other stuff that we do, and I know, but this is also this has to do with marketing. And Jennifer, who's our grassroots manager, has put up. There is something on our website where she actually appeals to. College students to sort of like you can host an event or something like that. Yeah, so that's always something that's we appeal, especially because if you're a college student, we're not expecting somebody like to say, okay, can you send $30 a month for a whole year, but there's suddenly like different things that you can do.
You can connect with
you
students.
connect with with other students, or just do a fundraiser or something and get donations, even if it's it comes up to be $150, you send it in to say this is a one-time donation. So that's always helpful.
I think that's it really with our questions.
Yeah.
And thank you so much.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
I do have one more
Yeah,
question.
go ahead.
Out of all the countries that you guys maintain a presence in, like,
Mhm.
which one was like the first one? Which one was like, which one are you guys helping like the most people?
When we
Not necessarily the first one,
okay,
just maintain
just
the most
like
presence.
the one that
and,
we DRC is actually the biggest.
Okay.
DRC.
Do you know like numbers?
I'm trying to think, because I remember pulling that up because we have over I even have helped like over 10,000
Wow.
women, and then DRC is
It's understandable,
but it's also one of our and this is the thing, because then it's there and then it's in the news, so people get drawn to that when it's in the news, and then then you come and talk about Women for Women, they talk about DRC, people are more drawn to to wanting to help there. So that is that's by far actually our biggest.
That's our last group member.
Oh, okay.
We're just
That's the
finishing up.
biggest.
Yeah.
That's the biggest country that we have.
What about foreign governments? Do they help in your efforts at all, or?
No, and
No?
the thing is that we try to, not foreign. In foreign governments, no, we don't. We don't get any at all. Here, I guess in the U.S. we get a little bit from, from the government, but we try and, because again we have to sort of stay somewhat sort of non-partisan, because again you just never know. But we know, so we don't ask.
Mm-hmm.
We don't ask for help from any, of the governments. We go in and try to. We try not to go into countries where there's, other sort of big organizations helping in, and, we stay there as long as, I guess, we stay clear of the government's ways, because we're not trying to be political or anything,
Mhm.
so that always turns out to be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
Mm.
smart.
Yeah. That becomes, and this is the thing too, because again, we're appealing to different people
Mm-hmm.
from
Yeah.
around the world. You don't want to sort of we look
Alliances.
as if we're associated with one sort of maybe government, and then that's all it takes for somebody to
Mhm.
not to say, I'm not going to donate
Yeah.
and I'm not going to sponsor because you're associated sort of with this, with this government.
Okay. I guess that's it.
So are you guys supposed to write a paper then after?
Yeah,
is
we
it?
write, it's not really a paper.
Not
It's
really
like
a paper,
one
just like
page,
a
and it's
info.
gonna go to the Women's Center,
Oh, okay.
and so they're gonna have a database of all of these volunteer opportunities in the
Oh,
DC area.
I see. Okay.
There's like a
Yeah.
bunch of groups like us, and they're all doing like different organizations and stuff. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's so interesting. I went to George Mason. I graduated in 2004, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just called me yesterday for money. We had mind. I do like to keep it. So it's called, do you have time? And I say, look, I know what you're calling for, but I just haven't been. I mean, I like the school, and I really do like it, but I haven't. And I was a women's studies minor.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm a
yeah.
government major.
Okay, okay. Also sociology. It's yeah.
I'm very interested in this organization. That's why I picked it.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
think it's awesome that
mean,
you guys empower instead of just, giving them money.
Yeah,
and
and
go
then
buy
that's it.
food or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. No, I mean, we really try not to do that because at the end of the day, then what, then
Right.
what happens? I mean,
They
that's the
can't,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna get anything. And I mean, one of the things we're trying to do, actually, thinking of doing, is expanding the program from 12 months to 18 months, actually, and keep some of that time that they'll still finish, they'll graduate in 12 months, but then use some of that time to actually track the women to say, okay, now really after the 12 months, or this is 14 months later, how are you doing? Were you able to, like sustain whatever you learned, and what, if you started a business, is it, are
You guys
still
ever
able to
think
keep
about shortening it, like say cutting it down to 6 months, and then so you can help double
No.
the amount of
Nothing.
people?
I mean, no, the thing is
You
that
know what I mean?
it's not enough. Even the 12
Really?
months goes by so fast. I mean, even the sponsors complain.
Uh-huh.
It really goes by so fast because by the time you enroll the women, they start. But you're talking about, like having the skills training. If somebody who doesn't know a thing,
Right.
you're learning it from scratch. It's like anything else. Like even with school, you're learning it from scratch. We give you 6 months, it's not even.
I guess quality is better than quantity.
Yeah. I mean, it's not enough time for them to grasp. And these are women.
Yeah.
You're talking about women who haven't, like saved or who, so it's like just grasping all of that.
Mhm.
By the time you do
Something
that,
like
it's
9%
hard.
that have
Yeah.
gone to primary school.
Oh, wow.
Mhm. And we do a little bit of literacy training just so that they can know, like how to save the money and all of that stuff. But yeah, no, the complaint we've gotten even from sponsors that 12 months is not enough.
Yeah.
It's like you need to make it higher. But we're going, okay, well, we'll try. We'll do our best and hope that
Do sponsors
People.
often stay in contact after the 12 months?
With
is
a few of them, and when that happens, that's not through us because
Mhm.
once the sister graduates, we cannot, you can't be responsible for like delivering letters. But we've had a few, like that they just feel that this person is really, like this is my sister, and
Yeah.
and then if the woman has a PO box after that, like they do, like they can stay in touch, write letters, and sometimes the sponsors will still say, they could send money to,
Yeah.
to the sister, and they, and then they can do that. We had one, and this is one I always talk about because I always remember. She was a sponsor, and her sister graduated, so they exchanged addresses, and I think her email. So the woman, the sister who was in Rwanda, had a son in college, and so he would email for her to the sponsor saying, "Oh, my mom says hi," and then the sponsor also had a son. They ended up connecting. And so both sons now became friends, and they would email each other, and then they started Skyping and all that. Yeah, so the sponsor called me
awesome.
once and told me, "This is so great. It's like I'm now in touch with our sons are really good friends, and we think of going to visit." And, so that see, it's like like the connection, because she just said, "I just felt so connected to her. I couldn't just stop after after the 12 months." And the thing is that after the 12 months, actually, the sponsors, I mean, the sisters graduate, but the sponsors will stay on. And which is what we hope for.
Right. So they'll
we'll
sponsor like someone
they'll
else?
sponsor somebody else
Okay.
because for us it's an ongoing cycle.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So they'll keep going until for whatever reason they stop. Maybe it's financial or anything like that. And I mean we have some who sponsor 10 sisters at a time.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, we had one guy, a doctor from California, who sponsored 100 women.
Oh wow.
He said, "I'm going to sponsor 100 women. Here's my credit card." I'm going,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how many male sponsors do you guys have? Like,
I don't have the. I mean,
Definitely
I don't have
a
the
lot
number,
less
but we.
than-
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is.
a lot
It
less
is a
than-
lot less because they're always not sure. But we do have some. I mean, like they'll call and say, "Is it okay for a man to sponsor?" And say, "Yeah." I mean, before we had restrictions, like when men could not, like sponsor in Afghanistan for cultural reasons.
Mhm.
Just for because it just brings so much of a rift. But anywhere else. But yeah, it's not as big. It's not as big a number. And then some of them will do it like husband and wife, and it'll be like in the wife's name. But even
Mhm.
what about volunteers? Do you guys have like male volunteers?
We do have a few. I mean, like this time we haven't had actually a lot. Sometimes a few of them will come because we have evening
Mhm.
volunteer as well. Like on Tuesdays. So yeah, so sometimes in the evening you get get one or two, but I mean it's not wedded to just be
Mhm.
like women. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it. You guys have
Yeah.
anything else? Thank you so much for your time.
No,
we really
of course,
appreciate
no
it.
problem, no problem. Yeah, pleasure to do it. Good luck.